So last time we had a look at my Amiga 1200 and I'm still waiting on some bits and pieces for that. So while I'm waiting for that, I thought I would have a look at this machine here. So this is an Amiga 500 Plus. As you can see, in very good condition. Keyboard, no yellowing at all. Had this nice little dust cover over it. So again, it's been kept very well. A little too well though. The problem I have is this sticker here and this sticker here. So it means it's never been opened. So I'm just wondering what that battery and the capacitors are doing right now. So let's get it open and see what we got. Yeah, so I bought this about 7 or 8 years ago at a car boot fair from one of them sellers. If you ever been to a car boot fair, it's one of them guys that seem to do mainly kind of computers and console sort of stuff. The box was in a terrible condition, lots of water damage to it, which again I just assumed where it had been raining a couple of weeks previous, and obviously they haven't been able to sell it. That's what's caused the problem there. But I think it was like around £25. Didn't have the power supply with it. He said he hadn't tested it. I don't know whether I believe that now or not, but but ultimately, you know, I thought for £25, it was the Cartoon Classics set as well. Box was absolutely terrible, not salvageable. The games themselves came with all the games and things like that, and I believe it even had the mouse and stuff, and everything was in pretty good condition. So, you know, I thought worst case scenario, if it's completely knackered, I'll you know, be able to do something with it. So yeah, I'm just breaking into the seals here. As I say, this feels sacrilegious kind of doing this, but it's a necessary evil just to see the condition of that battery and to remove it. Yeah, so again, it's one of them ones where it's just been sitting around for a while, been meaning to get to it, and finally I thought now's the time. With this, you remove them screws, but you got them clips on the side, and you'll notice it on a lot of these 500s and 500 pluses. These clips will be broken because you've got to kind of push into the side a little bit to release it. And again, a lot of people didn't. The fact that this hasn't been opened, I knew they were going to be fairly good and everything's going to be fairly tight in there. Just removing the keyboard. We can get shielding off and have a look and see what we got underneath there. So again, this shielding's held down by a couple of screws, and then these little tabs that fold over. Just use a screwdriver, just gently pry them up. This one's going to be a little bit trickier, so I'm just using the big screwdriver and then using the smaller screwdriver just to kind of prise underneath it. And got about a couple of screws. I hold that other shielding down on the expansion port on the side there. So just got to remove them out so we can get this shielding off and see what we got underneath. Ooh, actually doesn't look too bad. That battery does not look horrendous at all. I was expecting a lot worse than that. There's a little bit of damage to that diode there in front of it, but not much. Just having a little scan over the rest of the board to see what it looks like. Capacitors don't look too bad, they're not too bloated. Doesn't necessarily mean they're working or not, but again, overall they don't look too bad at the moment. At least they're not leaking anyway by the looks of things. Of course, B-52 Rock Lobster. top of the shielding on that floppy drive's got a little spots of rust. The same with the other top as well, which again isn't too bad. I mean, this computer was made in 1991, discontinued in 1992. So we're talking a 32-year-old computer we're going into here for the first time since its production. Just removing the floppy drive. Managed to forget one of the screws in the bottom here as well. There's 3 screws in the bottom, one and then holding it on the side. And again, just where this floppy controller hasn't been removed for a while, just taking that power out. It's just a little tab you have to pull forward. On my 1200, because that floppy drive's been in and out so much, you could just literally pull it by hand, but this one needed a little bit of just putting a screwdriver in there just to push it forward slightly. So next stage is to take that bottom shielding off and have a look at the condition, and also then be able to get to the points we need to get to remove that battery. So again, just got to remove all these off the back. So with them all removed, I can take this out. Let's have a look at the back. Just got the plastic shielding to protect it from the metal shielding to stop it from shorting out. Doesn't look too bad. So time to remove that battery. Just going to put a little bit of solder on it just to wake it up a little bit, the solder that's already on there. And then just using the desoldering tool just to remove that solder and get it out. Again, you don't need a desoldering station for this. You can just use a bit of solder braid or a solder sucker. Little tease with the soldering iron, and out it comes. So let's just have another look at it. Again, doesn't look too bad. I think we got lucky here. Hopefully we got lucky here. See, that's a bit of an odd one. Don't know why they've done that. They've kind of put one of the diodes over. You can see where it's supposed to go is naturally in front of it, but they've kind of bridged it over to the other side there. So I'm just using some isopropyl alcohol here just to clean up around the battery area, just in case there is any acid, just to neutralize it a little bit. Just clean that diode up. Just going to go over it with a bit of solder as well, just to make sure it's making a good contact. Power it up. So far so good, we've got a green light. No disk activity at all. It's not making that chugging noise it usually makes when you first switch it on. So my next thing now is to get my 520 modulator. So that gives you a video out and also a UHF out. You can plug in a regular TV for a TV aerial, or for me I'm just using the composite. That should give us a display. Again, on the 1200 it's all built into the board, so you don't need that modulator. So powered on, and getting no signs of life on the screen at all. So again, because I'm not sure whether this modulator is any good, I've just powered it down. And I'm going to try it in the mono output on the back of the computer. So this will just give you a kind of black and white image straight out of the computer itself. And again, powered on, no signs of life. Just had a look at the board again, and I can see the fat Agnes is looking a little bit sorry for itself, or rather the actual base of it. You see there's a lot of green corrosion there. Some of the pins look like they're lifted as well. So I'm just going to use this PLCC tool to extract it. Again, it's quite handy if you're going to pick between a chip puller or one of these PLCC pullers. I would recommend this just because you can pull a regular chip with it, but you definitely need it for a PLCC. Pins do not look good at all. Luckily the pins on the actual chip itself don't look too bad. So the Fat Agnes controls all the kind of address and pointer registers between the custom chips and the memory. So if this is deteriorated, which it looks like it is, you can see pins are just dropping out. But bearing in mind I'm not putting much pressure on these at all. Yeah, this has actually had it. Yeah, you can see how easy things are just dropping out here. So I reckon this is definitely our issue. Maybe the capacitors as well. Seeing as this is going to come out anyway, I just thought I'd try something. Somebody who said white vinegar helps clean this green corrosion up. So here I'm brushing it. I've left it for about 10 minutes. Doesn't seem to have really done much with it, and just cleaning it even more, it's causing more pins to come out. So I'm going to leave this video here. Just ordered another socket, so another thing I'm waiting for. So when we come back to this, we'll be reinserting this new socket, see what we get. Hopefully we've gotten a working 500 plus from it. Yeah, they are looking. The fact that these are coming out so easy shows the deterioration is quite bad. The good thing is this 84 pin PLCC is soldered from the back, so it should be fairly easy to change. Alright, I will see you on the next one, and hopefully working 500 plus.